Today we're starting the 5th episode of Truth Be Bold, and we have a very special guest here today. We have Faris Mecinovic, one of the founders of Constructorly, if I'm correct, right? You named it
Yep.
Constructorly, which is an amazing platform for construction management. And Faris is not only a Bold Serbia fellow, but he used to actually participate in Bold regional workshops, which was designed to get all the young people from Bosnia, from Montenegro, and from Serbia to meet together and work on developing different business ideas. So Faris, welcome. I hope this was a nice introduction for you, but tell us more about yourself
Sure.
and what you've been up to.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Anya. Long time no see, and thanks for having me here. And yeah, like you said, here I am, CEO of Constructorly, the construction management platform that we aim to design for small businesses. And yeah, you're right that I'm a both fellowship and regional workshop also attender. So here I am after this like month in USA. Here I am building that platform still, and we recently finished the customer discovery, and we are now on to the first stage of MVPs, get some internal beta testers. So we try to finish by the end of this year and let them try it out, and hopefully by the spring of the next year we will have the fully functional MVP that will be ready to ship production.
That's amazing, Faris. First of all, congratulations. And I'm super glad to hear how your journey has been going for the past year and the stages you've already reached. And speaking of that, you're building a very specific startup. And I wanted to ask you, what inspired you to actually pursue this, especially in the field of construction management, when it's something as a developer, you could have just as easily went into a different venture and work as a outsourced individual rather than just building a startup from scratch.
Yeah, great question. Actually, I coming from the southwestern part of the Serbia city called Novi Pazar, and here is in the last 5 or 10 years the construction sector growing rapidly. So we have two-digit numbers of the construction and high buildings built in the last 5 years. So that's kind of what got my team and my eye to see what's happening there, and we saw there a lot of potential, and we saw that it's a really big industry and really big potential market. And we saw that there is some flaws how they manage their projects, and there is also they use inadequate management tools, which leads to inefficient and accuracy, which leads them to potential loss of a lot of money. So we saw that issue, and we tried to build a platform that will streamline their operation and be cost effective for all stakeholders.
And tell me, now that you've identified that problem, or actually the potential, you've not only identified a problem but a potential of growth within your local community and everything. So what keeps you inspired in terms of motivation? What motivates you to keep working on it? Because I remember in one of our previous talks, you told me people are often very resentful, closed off, or not really sure. They are not trustworthy of young people that are starting their businesses or offering them a solution. They're a bit more conservative in finding this kind of way of collaborating with somebody new.
Well, yeah, to take back on the previous question you asked, you said like construction manager, really specific niche. And here I am, 21 years old, software engineer, trying to throw up my way into construction management softwares, and all construction actually owners, construction company owners are kind of older people. So it's kind of, how to say, when I like 20 years younger from them come to say, hey, I got something for you that will help you save your money and solve your problems. He said, nah, you don't know what you're talking about. This is my company and this is my job. You better stay in computer and type your code, and I will do my things, and you'll be okay. So there was kind of that in the beginning. But how I find motivation, the motivation for me is really crucial. For me, basically, it came down of setting clear goals and maintaining a sense of purpose. And I take the bigger goals and spread them into a lot smaller achievable goals. Then I do it one by one, and that's kind of how I keep myself motivated. But also one thing that keep me really going and really motivating all the time is that sense of what my work, how can impact my local community. Because don't have any startups yet in Novi Pazar that had some previous successes. So I aim to be the first one to do it. So that's kind of what gives me the most actually motivation for it.
And just to kind of emphasize that will to provide something back to your local community, to create that positive impact, is so important for any entrepreneur. And I'm really glad that you're one of our members of the Bold Network, just because of that reason as well. I wanted to say, since you've provided us with a really great skill set of breaking down your goals. You have this hierarching goal, and then you just break it down into small steps so you can keep motivated. Is that also a way of how you define success, or how do you relate to success on a day-to-day basis?
Uh, Measuring success can be subjective and personal things. It can be variant from person to person and depends on individual goals, priorities, values, and etc. But for me, success is like you cannot touch it. You cannot touch it. It's not like a physical thing. I think it's something that you feel internal, and you get actually that feeling when you going through your goals and things you wish you have done. For me, the biggest kind of feel of success is like, for example, this year when I go back in time and I saw everything I prayed last year, it got through this year. So I don't take that things for granted. So I'm really grateful, and I said really like I'm a really grateful person, and that's kind of the most thing how I measure success, by comparing myself like last week, last month, last year, and where I am today. And I'm really proud to say that everything I did last year is reflecting on how I'm doing this year, and hopefully this year will reflect all how I'm going the next year, and everything like that into the cycles.
It's about that progress, and also being able to reflect and be grateful for the
progress. Yeah, trust the progress, and that's kind of my motto of how it's going so far. Yeah, as I start really young to work, like with 18 years in professional software engineering industry, I just said trust the process, and that's it.
And
You actually
perseverance for sure, because you keep pushing, you don't quit on it, you just keep working on it, as long as it makes sense. Obviously, there's also this fine line that people need to thread, whether they're going in the wrong direction, and some projects need to be left on the side, but also if you've dedicated so much time and effort into something, how to draw that line. And I wanted to ask you, because a lot of young entrepreneurs struggle with that, when is it the right time to, let's say, abandon a project and call it a failed venture or something? What is, for you, one of the key components that are maybe missing in Serbia, whether it's some sort of additional support that you've seen in the US, or something that you personally need now as a young founder in this building his way to MVP stage?
So talking generally about startup ecosystem, right?
Yes.
Yeah, like I must admit, the situation in Serbia is recently got lot better, and there is some challenges in areas and there, but the improvements are really great through the past years. And I think the kind of most thing that is missed out right now in Serbia is access to early funding stages for startups that are kind of like in pre-seed and seed phase, especially now with all this and economy that is globally. I think that's kind of the main issue so far in Serbia. And I think there is how to say, really strict regulations here for businesses. I think simplifying the regulations and giving more access to funding to early stage ventures, it will be really great. But let's be honest, that's kind of the most issue in most countries. That's kind of the main issue in most countries. Sorry, and Serbia, we got a lot new programs that offer grants and offer some kind of small amount of money awards for the best startup competition and everything. And I think it's kind of we're going good on a track. We're on some track and we're going really good. It's really better than it was like last year. Every year there is new things coming, and it will be great if this progress continues.
You as a Bold regional workshop participant, how do you perceive the importance of building these regional collaboration with people you've met from Bosnia, from Montenegro, and what are some of the challenges in actually collaborating with people in the region?
Yeah, for me, actually, back in February, the regional workshop kind of was the icebreaker for my for my generally startup and for myself as an entrepreneur. The most obvious things that the regional workshop helped me is is dialogue and exchanging ideas. You have a bunch of people there. Everybody is so believed that its idea or his idea is gonna make $1 billion. It will be unicorn. Everybody is so sure about that, and you speak with different people and say, okay, here is my idea. This, and you said, okay, these are nice, and you go like 30 people in the room. You speak everybody, and by the end, you see how you talk to people and how people perceive your idea. What is their perception of your idea? Do you have like they said, if you can explain to 7 years old child, you don't even understand it for yourself. So that's where I find out how to actually tell my idea in like 2 sentences for people to not be in software industry or to not be in construction industry, to realize what is my idea about, what I'm trying to do, and what is our purpose to build with our constructorly.
Of course. And as you've said, being able to describe that, and that has been a huge lesson learned, and you know, people really shoot for the stars in the mood before even kind of laying out the foundation of their business. So what is we call it one truth or one main lesson or advice, however you want to perceive it, that you would give to young entrepreneurs before they kick off their venture, or let's say they have that idea but they're not really sure whether they want to begin their journey yet?
Oh, that's a really good question. What
you can take time.
I can reflect. I can reflect what I give myself time for it. It's what advice I would give for myself when I start in this venture is that first of all, research the market. That's kind of the most important thing, because when I start, I thought, no, there is no single one construction manager software, and I will be the first on the market. Yeah, let's go. We come into this. We are conquer this. But when I did some research, I saw there is 100 construction management platforms. And we need to see where we're standing and how we try to be better than competition. That's kind of the main. Just research the market. And the second one would be, you need to define your purpose and goals. By mean goals, I need SMART goals. You need to know exactly what goals you should set for yourself in able to be executable.
Yeah.
Because goals without execution is just kind of, let's be honest, it's just dreams.
Yeah, and that's such a nice point to end this conversation on. So thank you, Faris, so much for your time today. And I think people can learn a lot from you about being determined, about listening and learning from others. And thank you so much for your time. And we can speak sometime again soon, I hope.